Hello everyone, and today we'll be learning how we can connect our backend to our frontend using React and Node.js. So first of all, we will make a new folder here which we will call as test, and we will go to our terminal. We'll change directory to desktop, and we will change directory to test. Now we will say make directory, and we will say frontend and backend. And we will switch tab, and we will say change directory to backend, and here we will say touch index.js, and now we will say npm init yes, and we will hit enter. Now we can say that npm install express, which is a package we will need, and we will say course as well, and we will hit enter. So this will install express and course into our backend, and now we will go to our front end, and we will say change directory to front end, npx create react app dot slash. So this would create our React app, and while it is creating it, we will drag this folder into our VS Code. We will drag it here, and while going into backend, first we'll have to do one thing. We'll go to our package.json, and beside this main, we'll hit enter and say type module. So this would help us use import, and we will not be required to use require keyword. So this would help us, and now we'll save it. We'll go to index.js, and we'll start by writing import express from express. Then we will say import course from course, and then we will say const app is equal to express. So this would create our app, and then we will say app.use course, right? I think we have placed a lot of brackets there, and then we will hit enter again, and then we will say app dot listen to app.listen to port 5000. This is the port we will be listening to, and we will say when we start listening, we will say console.log app is running. We will save this, and we will go to our backend, and we will say nodemon index.js. This would start our backend, and you can see app is running. Now first we will test that our backend is sending the data to a front end or not. So for that we will say app.get, and we will say okay, we can do one thing. We can just directly we can call that in our backend, in our front end, and then we can test that. So in front end we can say npm start. This would start our development server, So our development server is also running. So we will do one thing. We will close this for a moment, and we will go to source. We will delete all these files which we do not need. Our goal here is to just check how we can send and receive data. So we will not be concerned about the styling. So we will go to index and we will delete this. We will delete this as well, and we will delete this, and we will hit save. And in app.js we will completely remove all the things, and we will use this snippet to create an app, and we will hit save. So we can see that our app shows here. Now I want that this text app should not show this particular hard-coded app, but something which we will receive from backend. So for that we'll have to use Axios. So we will first of all go to our terminal, and we'll say npm install Axios, and we will hit enter. Okay, so Axios is installed, and we can say npm start now, and here, yes, it has started. So we can say import Axios from Axios. So Axios is used to send and receive requests to the backend. So now we will go here, and we will say const data set data is equal to use state, and we will hit enter. So this we can use to get the data which we receive from the backend, and here we will say const get data is equal to async function, and we will say const response is equal to await Axios dot get, and we will say http localhost 5000, because it is the port which we are listening at, and we will say data or get data, right? So this we have done, and as soon as we receive this, so we will say set data, which is this one, to response dot data, right? And here we can specify that this is a text or a string, and here we will say we'll show data here, right? We will show data here, and by going here we'll say use effect, and we will say get data, which is this function. We will call that as soon as the page loads, and we will specify it, right? So our front end is basically ready. We have specified Axios, we have imported it, we have made a data, and called we have requested the data from backend using Axios on the port 5000 and get data, and we have used use effect, and the data which we receive, which will be shown here. So these are the things which we have done till now. Now we will save this. As you can see, this would not show anything because data is currently empty. So we will go to backend in index.js, and we will write when app.get as our request which we are sending here. You can see that it is a get request. So we can say app.get, and when we receive a get request saying get users, I'm sorry, get data is the I think the word I specified. Yes, we can copy that, so that because this would create error if we although it is same, but it is a good practice to copy that. And we'll say that if this we get this specified text as a get request, so we will say res will say res, which is short form for request and response, and we will specify that response dot send hello, and we can hit save, and you can see this hello appears here. So I could have written like we can go to lorem ipsum, we can generate a text of 5 paras maybe, and we can copy that, and I could have sent this entire text here. Okay, because that's changed lines, that is why it is saying this cause error. So we can delete this, we don't need this, one line would be sufficient, and we will hit save, right? Huge text, and we can see that if we reload, the complete text we received in our front end. So this is how we can send data from our backend to our front end. Thank you.